how to get your stock exhaust or your stock Kia Stinger to do a quick pop and bang. I think I love this wheel suspension setup more than the old Kia Stinger. Literally, that's a ticking time bomb. Now the fun part, you and the guy she tells you not to worry about. Oh my god, I just scraped bad. Alright fam, before the video continues, I wanted to let you guys know that there is a current giveaway going on. If you guys want to enter, all you have to do is purchase a jet tag. There's a limited amount, but the only way to get the entry is by getting this jet tag. You have the option to win a rear diffuser for the Kia Stinger, wireless Apple CarPlay with the YouTube and Netflix, or the Kia Stinger blow-off valves, but they also work with a Genesis. So if you want to enter, go get yourself a jet tag. But let's get on to today's video. If you guys remember, I welded some valves onto the original exhaust of the Kia Stinger. So right now I'm actually doing the wire setup. I'm routing all the wires, and let me show you guys, those are the valves on the OEM mufflers that are gutted, but that way we could have those valves closed since this thing is gonna go catless. We got it all wired up, so we're gonna have the system right there. So we're gonna open the valves and then close. So valves are open right now. This is how it's gonna sound closed. So it's a little bit of a difference, not that much, but enough for when I'm under full throttle, it's not gonna be as loud. I'm actually gonna be working on the spindle knuckle right now, because when you get a salvage vehicle, you always find some hidden features with it. For example, a re-welded knuckle, which is so dangerous. That's literally a ticking time bomb right there. It's not supposed to look like that. It should look like that. Once these things crack, you're not supposed to re-weld it. And there's some weird clinking noises whenever I turn and stuff, but literally that's a ticking time bomb. If I hit a deep pothole, that thing could snap and my whole steering rack would just, you know, go like that, and I'll go left or right, wherever's. Especially if I'm going high speeds, I don't want to die. So I'm gonna be replacing that. So far it hasn't, you know, broke on me, but it's not safe. Got this thing on eBay used, and then since I'm here, I might as well do the brake rotors. I've had these for like, I don't know, half a year already. Well, since I bought the Stinger, I've got those rotors. Had to bring the big guns out since this little guy didn't want to do it. Let's go, baby. All right, so check it out. This is that weld area they did. As you see, that's not how it's supposed to go. It's not even a circle, it's like an oval in there. Hub bearing thing is so rusty though. That's the one thing I dislike about this one. This one must have came from the rust belt or something. This is actually much easier than removing. So I'm gonna put the camera down, finish this up before it gets dark. That way I have enough time to put on the rotors. I'm gonna be installing some white line sway bars. These are way beefier than the OEM ones. That way if we ever go to the canyon or if we go to the track, this car will be ready for it. This is the OEM sway bar versus this beefier one. Dude, it's such a big difference, bro. Look at that. You and the guy she tells you not to worry about. Adding some of that bushing grease to prevent any squeaking noises. Now the whole sway bar is on, just gotta tie everything down. Now the fun part. After a bunch of blood, sweat, and tears, looks like we may have gotten the rotor to separate. Look at how much dust and rust, and I don't know what kind of stuff is on the floor right there, but watch. I got the big mallet out, let's see. There we go. Now out with the old. Look at that, dude, this thing is so rusty. I'm starting to think at one point this thing was submerged too. Not only was it salvaged, but it was flooded or something. Look at that, dude. All right. And in with the new one. Just got back from getting an alignment done after all the stuff that's gone onto the Kia Stinger. Those brake rotors, dude, no joke, are making so much brake dust. Look at this, bro, it's insane. Look at that. And that's just like, I think just a day of use. I'm hoping it's just that it's getting that first layer off, and after that it's not gonna be as much, because in one day the wheels getting this bad is crazy, dude. And I realized I have to replace the rear brake pads. Those things are shot. But dude, the alignment made such a big difference. Back then the car would turn to the left on its own because of that freaking Mickey Mouse thing they did with the front spindle knuckle. But now that's fixed, alignment's good. This thing is ready for the track or the canyon. I just gotta get those brake pads done. I gotta go take this thing for a wash, because look at that. When the guy was doing the alignment, I don't know what the heck was going on, but he was putting his hands all over the hood, and this thing looks so bad, bro. It's only been 1 week since I washed it, and it's already this dirty. The brake dust made it look even worse, dude. Look at that. That is crazy. Look at how bad that is. They're supposed to be gloss black. They look matte, I don't know, silver, bro. Car looks so good now. It's finally complete cosmetic wise, and suspension. I've been needing to get that spindle knuckle replaced since I've bought the car. The guy never let me know, but I found that out on my own. I was like, this deal seems way too good to be true, and it kind of makes sense why. That part is not expensive, but if you took it to a mechanic to fix, that would have been pretty expensive. Luckily for me, I know how to fix it. I did it myself, and I saved myself thousands of dollars. The only thing I needed to go get an alignment done, and I think that's pretty much done. Suspension, I got the white lines installed, I got the rotors. I just need rear brake pads at this point, and this thing's ready for the track. But I've actually, if you guys saw like 2 videos back, I bought some spare catted downpipes, the OEM ones, and they are gutted, so they're pretty much hollowed out. And I'm gonna be installing them onto the Stinger because your boy Sleepy Tune, he's gonna be tuning it to shoot some flames. It's gonna be a big pop and bang tune. I just need to get them installed, but it's not no simple install. If you mess up those bolts when you're removing them, that's gonna be like a whole week's worth of work, and I don't want to risk that. So I've been putting some no, not JB Weld. Dude, imagine I've been putting JB Weld. No, I've been putting some, damn, I forgot. But that thing that makes it so the bolts come off easy. But that has to be done. If you don't do that and you have a high mileage Stinger, more than likely you're gonna end up cross-threading one of those bolts or snapping one, and your day is ruined. So the reason I'm doing catless downpipes is because in order to rock a pop and bang tune, you need to have some free flow exhaust, and if you have some cats in there, you're gonna blow them out, and I don't want to blow out these cats. Cats are pretty expensive. They're thousands of dollars. Luckily I live in Mexico, so I don't have to worry about the EPA or all that BS, you know. So we're gonna be doing that with Sleepy Tune. He's gonna be unlocking the ECU. He's gonna be putting some power in this thing. The other Stinger, I never ended up doing a real tune. I only did JB4, so the exhaust notes sounded the same throughout the whole time I owned it. The only difference I will have with this one is I had a JBL exhaust setup. This one I just have a valve setup. It's not that loud, but in order to get it that loud, I'm gonna end up removing those cats. It's gonna sound way louder. It will have some drone, unfortunately, but those valves should help. I think I love this wheel suspension setup more than the old Kia Stinger. I think this flows way better. The only thing I don't like is that they're 20s. If there were 19s, I think it would be better because the car would sit a little bit lower. It sits pretty tall because it's 20s. For those of you wondering what the suspension setup is, it is white lines, as you guys saw me installing. White line sways bars, front and rear. And then we also have the H&R lowering springs front and rear. I think those are the best. I think the fitment is way better than any other. On the old Kia Stinger, I did some control arms, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing it on this one because I don't think this thing's ever gonna see a real track. I'm for sure gonna be hitting the canyons and maybe even a drag strip, but in order for me to hit the drag strip, I really don't need control arms. You just need to have the suspension dialed in, and it's pretty dialed in. I haven't had any slippage, and these are some pretty fat tires. I'm running in the rear some 285s, and that's more than enough for a Kia Stinger. I bet you guys didn't know this, but the stock Kia Stinger has its own burble tune. Let me show you guys real quick. So it's only on startup. So the trick is when you're about to start the car, while you're starting, you want to give it a little bit of gas in between like 1,000 to 2,000 RPM range. And that's how you're gonna get it to dump some fuel into the exhaust, and that's how you're gonna get it to pop. A lot of people think, because I used to do it a lot with the old Kia Stinger, and they thought I had a real tune. I never did. Did have those Jumbiel exhausts, which caused it to sound even louder than what these sound like. But watch, let me show you in lifetime how you do it. So it's not that hard. So I'm gonna start the car, right? All right. And press the brake. And right when you're about to start, that one was kind of weak, but you get the gist. You pretty much accelerate while the car's starting, revving it up to about 2,000 RPMs, but don't hold it there. You wanna kind of just drop and let go. And it's pretty much it. So whenever you want to flex on somebody, or you want to, I don't know, make the car sound cool at a car show while you're turning it on because there's people watching, that's a quick tip on how to get your stock exhaust or your stock Kia Stinger to do a quick pop and bang. I'm gonna try it again, live time. Here we go. That sounded way better. Now imagine if your thing was straight piped. That thing would be pretty loud. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna see if I could get it even louder. All right, that was a little better. I really wonder if there's other Kia Stinger owners out there that do the same thing, because from I know, I don't think anybody else does it. They actually get a real burble tune. I've been doing this since the old Kia Optima, and it's worked for me. I saw some other YouTuber do it. But if you have done this before, if you guys do this trick, comment down below, because I think it's pretty cool. When I go to car shows and I start it up like that, and I have a car straight piped, it's pretty loud. But I wonder if it damages it too. So comment down below. I don't know if this damages the car. I doubt it. You're not revving it that hard or hitting red line. I know you guys enjoy some POV setups, so I'm gonna go rip this baddie, see if we could get the rear end loose. Oh, I love this car. Interior's cleaned up, car's washed up. Woo! Oh, I want to straight pipe this thing so bad. I want to remove the cats, but it's not an easy job, and if you try to rush it, you're screwed. Set up my phone real quick. I love this new mount I have going on. Literally sits perfectly next to my display. If you guys have a JB4 setup, I recommend doing this. I used to have it set up here on the old Kia Stinger, but it was pretty low and it was in front of my vents. And now this new mount, which is available at KDM Built for pretty cheap, go check it out. It's just a magnet you put in between the case, or you could stick it directly on the phone. It has like a 3M backing to it. You guys want a mount that's pretty sleek and it doesn't really protrude out or show that much, and literally you could hide it too behind the display simply with a little knob at the back. You could loosen it, flip it over, and you can have it hide whenever you guys, I guess, have guests or you don't want that mount to show. But I love this mount. Check it out. Just like that, mount it up, have the phone. Oh my god, I just scraped bad. Woo! Yeah, this thing slid. You guys. Woo-hoo-hoo! I love this car, man. This thing feels way better than the GT2 all-wheel drive. This thing just slides like butter, bro. I could get this thing to slide everywhere. And I'm rocking Michelin Tire Sports in the back, so those things are pretty grippy, and I still get to make this thing slide. On the old setup, I think I had Mickey Thompson's. Maybe they're too grippy, that's why I couldn't get the Stinger to slide. But yeah, the old Kia Stinger, it was so hard to get that thing to just skid for just a bit. So yes, to confirm, the GTS does have drift mode. All you have to do is take that traction control button off completely, put it in a sport mode, and just give it some gas. Not too much, bro, because you will lose control. I've already 360 this thing, like, not 360, I've 180'd it pretty bad one time, and it was pretty embarrassing. It was not my intent. I was just trying to get it to what is it called, fishtail. But I highly suggest you not to have the traction control off all the time, because you will slide, and you will not, you're pretty much gonna slide at a time that you really don't want to, and you don't want to become part of the salvage gang like me, because it's pretty expensive. It's gonna be, and then if it's your fault and insurance doesn't cover it, you're pretty much screwed. All right, little tunnel pass. Woo, love this car, baby. Oh my gosh, it sounds so good with those blow-off valves. I just want it to be a little bit louder. I still think it's too quiet, and the valves are open. Yeah, the car's way too quiet, dude. Well, I mean, it's only valves. The only thing I did different is the secondaries have no cats, but that's not enough. In order to get this thing louder, you have to remove the resonators, you have to remove the secondary cats, and the mufflers if you want it to be pretty loud. If you don't do at least 2 out of the 3, it's not gonna be loud. It's gonna sound like the way it does now. The valves do make a difference, but not enough. If I remove those primary downpipes, the car will definitely scream. Oh my gosh, this car sounds so good. Oh shit, this is a big ass. All right, we're chilling, we're chilling. Oh, there's traffic right now. I was gonna do a fat launch, bro. I guess we'll do a baby pool. Nothing major. Oh, this car sounds good. But of course there's traffic, dude. I would have just went. Should I do some squeeze bends? Turn the channel into squeeze stinger? I'm kidding, dude. That shit's way too dangerous, and I don't support reckless driving either. If you guys are gonna be doing that, take it to a track. Don't be doing it on public roads. Or if you're from Mexico like me, then I guess who cares? Just don't let la policía get you, you know? But after the alignment, no joke, the car is so much better. Look at that. Steering wheel is straight, car goes straight. Kind of starting to kind of see it's not. Kind of looks like the steering wheel is a little bit to the right, but it's better than what it was before, so I'm happy with that. Dude, if this thing was on a track, I think this thing would do pretty good. Kia Stingers are not no slouch. These cars are pretty fast, and everywhere I go, everybody's always like, yo dude, your Kia Stinger's sick. And it's funny because it's like debadged, so it doesn't have any markings that say Stinger on it. But like back then, people never got what my car was. Even though I did have a front badge that said Stinger, people would always ask what kind of car is that. People would assume it's an Audi. All right fam, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, you guys know what to do. I'm not gonna be saying to like and subscribe anymore. If you guys enjoy, you guys know. If you guys don't enjoy, you guys also know what to do. But it was a short video for you guys. For those that do enjoy watching me, I want to make more content for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.